I don't. I
Yeah.
think I was on offlane. Yeah, I was on offlane. Yeah.
Offlane axe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to axe, there are two ways to play axe. Pretty much two ways, and the two ways are have a big overlap. So it's kind of almost like there's like one way to play axe for the first 5-ish minutes, and then there's two ways to play axe. So the two ways that I'm talking about is obviously jungle axe and offlane axe. Now, when you play jungle axe, you can follow Boneless's guide. Um, you know who Boneless is?
Yeah.
Bone, Boneless
Clean.
axe. No,
Ah.
Boneless. So if you go on YouTube or Google or whatever, and
Yeah.
you type boneless axe jungle, you will get this video. It is 6.87, but it works the same. Um, you go onto this video, and sorry about that.
It's clean.
And boneless talks about how to jungle axe. You do have iron talent in 6.88, so you do have iron talent. So pretty much nothing has changed. I play axe a lot, and I do this, and you can very consistently, even if you miss a stack, you can very consistently get level 6 by 4 minutes
Oh.
maximum. Yeah, if you do it right, then you get level 6 by what is it? 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3 minute 30 seconds, 3 minute 40 seconds, very consistently, depending on the stacks that you get, and it's even faster in the. I believe it's faster in the dire because you can actually get it in 3 minutes 16 seconds. There is no way, no better way to play axe than to take him to the jungle. Honestly, you will get level 6 by 4 minutes, and you can get a blink dagger by 8 to 10 minutes, and then you just completely overtake the game. So pretty much, for me, when I play axe offlane, when I play axe, I go to the jungle. Even if I've marked offlane and I'm going offlane, I start off in the jungle. I start off with Iron Talent and Tangos. I go to the jungle. 4 minutes in, I'm level 6, and then I go to the lane. And when I go to the lane at 4 minutes in, we can check. We can check at 4 minutes what the levels are for the offlane and for the support and the carry. Usually, the carry is no more than level 3 or level 4 max, and the support is no more than level 2 or level 3, right? And you are almost double their levels. You go to the lane, and you completely just take over the lane. It is so strong, right? If you start off in the lane, Axe is deceptively weak. Axe is one of the most deceivingly weak heroes in the game because you think, oh, he's got spin and he's so such tanky, he wants to be in your face, but in the first few levels, he is super squishy. He doesn't have that high an HP pool. 700 isn't that much. His armor is really horrible, and he you kind of want to be in the middle of things to take damage and spin and deal damage. Now think about it this way: if you walk into a creep wave at level 1 or level 2, you walk into a creep wave and you let the creep wave hit you. So 4 creeps hitting you. Each creep deals 20-ish damage. So that's 80 damage in total, right? And we're not going to talk about talk about the enemy carry hitting you. Let's assume he's not hitting you. He's afraid of you, right? So if you let all the creeps hit you, that's 80 damage that you've taken from the creeps, and it's only 18% reduction, right? So 18%, so 8 to the 16, so 16 damage reduction, which means you are still taking about 75 damage, right? So you're taking, if all creeps hit you once, you take 75 damage. And there's 4 creeps. Your spin is 20% chance to proc. So 5 creeps need to hit you for you to spin once, right? So if all 4 creeps hit you once, you might not even guarantee a spin. So the fifth creep has to hit you for you to guarantee a spin. So that means 5 creeps are hitting you 20 each. That's 100 damage after reductions. Once again, 20% reduction means 80 damage. So you have to take 80 damage to spin once. This is when
Yeah.
the enemy support or enemy carry is not attacking you, right? And when you do spin once, only deals 75 damage. Basically, you're taking 80 damage to deal 75 damage. And we're talking about after reduction. So, and the only reason why you're taking 80 and not more is because you do have a ring protection. If you didn't have ring protection, you'd probably be taking 95 damage. Now, change this scenario a little bit. Imagine the support is also attacking you. He's got 50 damage, right? So that's 150 damage. And let's say the carry also attacks you, right? So four creeps carry that 60, 80 damage plus 60 damage is 140 damage plus 50 damage from this guy is 190 damage, so nearly 200 damage. Even after reductions, it's 160 damage. You're taking 160 damage for 75 return. Even at level 2, you're taking 165 damage to return 110 damage. It's really, really horrible. It is actually horrible. And that's why Axe is so weak. You really need like at least level 3 in your counter helix to be able to actually deal, decent amount of damage. And not only level 3 in counter helix, but you also need more HP and you need more armor to be able to effectively deal more damage than you take. So, biggest thing, this what I'm telling you is just to make you understand that Axe is extremely weak. It took me like 6 or 7 games in a row, almost in a row, to be playing Axe for me to realize that, okay, this guy is actually super squishy early on.
Yeah.
If you watch any high-level player, if you watch any pro player playing Axe in the offlane, you will notice that up until level, at the very minimum 3, they are playing so defensive. They're playing like they are like sniper or something like that, like super squishy support type hero. They will always play very, very defensive because there's just no worth trading on the Axe. Alright. To talk a little bit more about your item build, because you're going in the offlane, your item build is perfectly fine. However, as I said, Alright, I'm just going to say it at the beginning, and I'm going to try not to say it again. You should always, 99% of the time, you should start off in the jungle when you play Axe. It is just so beneficial. Even if you think you're going to have a favorable lane, the lane will just not get you enough. The lane will just not give you as much as what the jungle will give you in the first 4 minutes. So you should try to always start off in the jungle. Iron Talon, start jungle, and then just dominate. And we will also now look at the 4 minute mark of what your level and what your farm is in the offlane. Obviously, it will be better if you killed the start or the support. If in the first 4 minutes you actually manage to kill them, that's a separate story. Alright. There we go. So this is the situation that we spoke about. Right? The Rubik is hitting you, and all of the creeps are hitting you. And up until now, look how much damage you've taken. You've taken 150 damage, more than 150, 160, 70 damage. And so far, Rubik has only taken 40 damage. See?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
God bless you.
Thank you. And this Rubik is bad because he's aggroing the creeps constantly. So he's taking, look at that, he's taking a lot of damage from creeps. Otherwise, it would have been a really good trade for him. But he's almost lost half of his HP. I hope we can look at the land lord. Look at that. Melee creep.
Yeah.
Look at how much damage he's lost because of the melee creep. Let's see how much you've done damage to the Rubik. You've done 46 damage here. So you right clicked him twice and you've spun once. That's the total amount of damage you've done to him. So 50, 150. So roughly about 100 and what's it? 175. No. So about 170 damage. So you've done 170 damage to the Rubik, right? That's what you've done. And you have taken, well, you used a tango, but you took 150 damage as well. Obviously, you're tangoing up. You actually took a full tango already. So that's another 115. So that's 270 damage. So to do 150 damage, 170 damage to Rubik, 250 damage. Of course, as I said, he's an idiot. Aggro defeats a lot of
Yeah,
damage.
I get the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So wow, this is amazing. This is the kind of an opportunity that you want to look for, where you can actually call the enemy carry in the middle of a creep wave. This is excellent. But the only thing is that you really should wait for level 3 to do this. You need to play very, very passively, way far behind, up until level 3 to be able to do this, because once again, you actually don't deal that much damage to this guy. And when you use call, you're not going to take any damage in these 2 seconds. That's fine. But as soon as this call ends, which is right now, this is when you start taking damage. You did a very fair bit of damage to him, but now you're going to have to use up the entire salve. And you didn't actually didn't notice if you check this guy had a salve or not. So if you check, did you check the guy had the salve or not? Did you check his items?
No, I think I did not.
Okay. So what you want to do is, even if you are level 1 or 2, you want to check what items this guy has. If I was a Slark going up against an axe, right now I would have 2 tangles, 2 sets of tangles, and a full salve. Maybe 2 salves and 1 set of tangles. Because I know I'm going to get called, I know I'm going to take shit tons of damage, so I need lots of regen. So what you should have done as soon as you came into the lane as an axe, you want to check what the carry has. You want to see if he has got salves, if he's got plenty of regen or not. If he doesn't have regen, and you have regen, go for the trade. It's going to be a bad trade for you, but if you use up a salve and get all the way back to full HP and he has to start eating tangos, that is a good trade for you, because you're winning the regen war. And you do that one more time and that's it. He's been zoned out completely and you've just completely shut him out of the lane. But I still think you need to wait for level 3 so that you can actually do some actual damage. Alright. So this is the other situation. Like, this guy is obviously smart. He knows the axe is already used the ball, so axe can't do anything now. Axe can't use the ball again. So he's actually going on you, and I think he's got S shift. He does F1. Okay, this is the kind of situation that you want to avoid early on. Staying in here, just taking right click damage from Rubik.
I could have pull. I know.
Sorry.
I could have pull.
Pulling is good. Pulling is definitely good. Takes out an entire creep wave. Obviously, they can contest, but the main thing is that you just want to stay back till you turn level 3 at the very least. I honestly think level 3 isn't really enough, but you can get away with a lot if you are level 3. Now, at this point, you've completely run out of regen. And if you look at the enemy team, I don't know if we had any regen. Slark still has 1 tango, I guess. I guess they don't have any regen as well. Paul. But yeah, at this point, what you really need to do is get some more regen from your courier. Looks like you are bringing something.
Yeah, and I think buying Chroma Shield will. I saw Tetsumo, it was good, but I think it's horrible.
Chroma Shield on Axe?
Yeah.
It's not horrible. It definitely helps, but I think for that 300 extra gold, you could have gotten other things.
Yeah.
You could have waited for your boots of speed, got them quicker. You had a little bit more regen. Several things you could have done. Also, I don't think buying 1 salve is enough, because now, okay, fine, you're going to be full HP, but what if you go and call and you go back to half HP? What are you going to do then? You're definitely losing out on this lane, guaranteed. And the biggest reason for that is because of your super aggression in the early levels. You managed to get Slark down to 0, well, his last tango, but you actually used up 2 sets of regen to make him use not even 1 full set of regen. I want us to check at the beginning if Rubik had. Okay, so you managed to make Rubik also use his entire. So what you traded was 2 sets of regen on yourself for 1 set of regen on the Slark and 1 set of regen on the Rubik. And yeah, this is where we go. So you kind of got an even trade, but now what's happening is because you are not getting more regen, because you upgraded Proman Shield, you still don't have boots. You should have bought boots anyway. You should have bought boots by now. So you can't actually go to the lane. So you might as well have gone to the jungle, you know. So you are level 4 at this point. At 3 minutes 30 seconds, you're level 4. Let's look at Slark's level. Slark is level 3. So this is what I was talking about. Right? If you'd gone to the jungle right now, you would have been level 6. Slark would have been level 3. You were double his level. I bet Rubik is level 3 as well. There you go. Rubik is also level 3. So you're double both of their levels. And now, if you came to the lane at this point, you would have had. You maybe wouldn't have had full tranquils, but you definitely would have had brown boots. You would have had one more. You would have had one more ring of protection. You would have had a iron talent. That means you have, instead of 5 armor, you have 7 armor, and then you can actually completely destroy this guy in the lane. You have another point in counter helix. You have your ult. It's just so strong. And also, you spend a lot of time roaming around. That was not good. Instead of roaming around, what you should have done is just bought a salve out. And at this point, you bought a quelling blade. Now, quelling blade is okay on axe, but that's if you start the game off with it, and if you actually buy the iron talent. That's kind of like core. But at this point, if you went for this build already, if you're going to the offlane and all that, then this is not a good item. Quelling blade. You should have just went for the boots and straight into a tranquils. That's a lot of damage. Like dealing damage to the Slark is great, but you're wasting your life as well. So the positive thing that you've got going for yourself is that this guy is an idiot, and he has not bought any regen either. I guess their courier is dead, so you can't even get through that. And that's the other thing. Their courier is dead, right? So your courier is still alive. It's sad that your courier is not upgraded, but it's still alive. What you should do 2 minutes ago, what you should have realized is this guy doesn't have a courier. Click on the guy, he doesn't have regen. You just go in there, call him, make sure he goes down to 200 HP, and then you make sure you bring out salves and tangos and whatnot, any sort of regen, and you make sure you're full HP with some regen to spare in your inventory. And that's it. You've zoned out the Slark completely for the entire duration that the courier is dead. Either that or he has to go all the way back to base, give up EXP, and then TP back to lane, waste some more gold, and in that time you probably gained an entire level or more on that guy. So that you could have taken advantage of that courier being dead that way. You did this pull, but I don't really like the fact that you did the pull, because it was firstly it was a single pull. You couldn't even kill both the creeps, and essentially at this point you're being completely zoned out by the Slark. Right now, what you should have done is just gone up to the Slark right now and just called him, because there's a lot of his creeps there. You guaranteed get like 3 or 4 spins off on him. He's got 400 HP. You get 3 spins, 1 right click, he's dead. He's got like 6 creeps here, and he's the 7th person. So you definitely quite easily could kill him right here. Also, I think you're saving up 1 point in your skill build.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you want to go for Battle Hunger. At this point, you put a Battle Hunger to Rubik and ran at him and called him. He would have died here as well. So you're definitely wasting opportunity. And now, even if you call, you're not going to kill him because there's only 2 creeps there. So where you could have killed the Rubik, he actually ended up killing you. 6 minutes in, you're still not level 6, and you've only got 10. So all in all, I'd really like to watch this first 6 minutes one more time and go by step what again, because I feel like you wasted a lot of time. Just you when you did this pull, you wasted a lot of time when you were low HP because you refused to bring some more healing for yourself, and you were just walking around in this jungle trying to stack this camp or something. You wasted a lot of time. The courier wasn't upgraded, so you wasted. Well, that's not your fault, but the courier was coming to you, and that took a lot of time. You called Sal, and then suddenly the mid laner called the courier, and you know. But that's to a point that's your fault because you didn't bring more regen to yourself. As I said, like if I go to the offlane, if I have to go to the offlane, I'll always have three sets of regen. Whereas you only had two sets of regen, and you had a lot of super early game aggression, which ended up losing you an entire south for very little damage done to the enemy team. But Secret can actually kill you right now, and he's gonna.
Yeah,
And
they will kill me there, I guess. Yeah, yeah. And I'm dead.
yeah. I mean, everything is just linking back to your movement in the early game, and pretty much I kind of want to. There's very little point watching this replay now because we've just looked at so many mistakes you made in the early game that like it's just going to be echoing constantly, ripple effect to all the way to the late game because it's 8 minutes in nearly, and you've only got echo boots and no gold left to spare. Whereas if you'd done this properly, you would have been close, very, very close to your blink dagger by now. Like 8 minutes 30 seconds. Wait, right here you could have had your blink dagger. Instead, you're not even quarter way down to your blink dagger. And also, you were saving your point in battle hunger, and I think that was the right choice. You should have had battle hunger because the enemy team is quite fast. Right? This guy is really fast. This guy is really fast. This guy isn't fast, but then again, he is ranged, so you can't really jump him until you get your blink dagger. So having the point in battle hunger would have been a really, really good choice. He's got called. So it would have allowed you to chase this guy with a lot more ease. There was a chance he might have escaped, and if you'd had battle hunger, there's no chance he escapes. Right. Let's see how you play this for now. Right. So, small thing here. You have vision of this area. You know Bloodseeker just ruptured your Nature's Prophet, and you see them coming in this direction. You see your whole team is here. Right? So what you should have done is you should have stayed here with your team. And imagine if you were here, you were going in this direction, and you were just standing on top of this cliff, and you called this guy right now. This way, I was guaranteed 100% dead. 100% dead. If you called him right here. Anyway, so I mean, as I said earlier, we've spoken about a lot of things that you could have done better in the early game, and there was so many things, so many advantages that you had that you sort of wasted dead. So many advantages that you wasted. Boom, another one. Escape. Nah, there's no way to escape. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go into a game and practice acts the way I told you. Watch that bonuses
Yeah,
jungling
I
guide.
mean,
Practice
yeah,
that guide in a custom lobby first, a couple of times until you get level 6 before 4 minutes, and then go and practice in the game. But at this point, I actually don't even want to look at this game anymore because I don't think it'll benefit you too much. There's a couple of things that we can do now. Firstly, we've got half an hour, more than half an hour. So what we can do is either you go and play some axe games, and then you come back and we watch one of your latest axe games after you practice what I've said,
yeah.
so that we have a better understanding because this game isn't going to help you too much.